What's up? This is Mateo. Now, many people wrongfully think that a media buyer is the secret to all of their problems and that they can just wave a magic wand and produce huge ROIs while you just sit in Cabo and do nothing. And that couldn't be further than the truth. So that's what I want to talk about today. And I'm making this video because, one, I feel that this is a completely backwards expectation in our industry, and it's really a mindset that plagues our industry, to be honest. And also, when I got into business and marketing, I wish I had this video because I had, again, completely backwards expectations about this too. So without further ado, let's jump in. The media buyer is not the secret. It's all about your offer, then the funnel and messaging. But most importantly, your product offering. Something that I learned from my boss, Alex Becker, who I've been working with for half a decade, is that your ads are only as good as your product. It's impossible for the best media buyer in the world to run profitable ads if the offer isn't proven and the funnel sucks or isn't optimized. And think about it like this with an analogy of Michael Schumacher. Take the world's best race car driver. They will never be able to win any race if you give them a broken car or a car that's slow. Skill sets don't matter at that point. And it's the same thing with, for example, a sales rep. A sales rep, even the best sales rep in the world, cannot sell dog shit. They can't sell an offer that the market doesn't want or that it's not in demand. And it's the same exact thing with media buyers. See, media buyers use leverage that already exists to create value and produce results with paid ads. But media buyers don't create the results all by themselves. They didn't create this leverage just out of thin air. They can only produce massive results because the company has an offer, a high converting funnel, and creatives, and they have the financial means. And the media buyers are the masterminds that use all these pieces together and use their skills to be able to, again, produce results. In other words, the media buyer itself does not equal a business, right? A business is made up of a lot of various parts, including the media buying. So a business will have a great product / service. It's also going to have fulfillment and customer service and accounting and management and copy and sales team. And one of those pieces is media buying. But just because you have media buying, that does not mean that like the business is going to be successful. And it's just like a sales rep who closes a $10 million deal. They didn't just do that out of thin air. They're very likely selling a damn good product with an incredibly established brand. And again, all of those other pieces are in place. And this is also the explanation why many media buyers don't just run their own show. Don't get me wrong, a lot of media buyers do run their own show. And a lot of media buyers, when they become very, very skilled, might start their own business. But they first need all of those other factors in place to be in a position to buy significant media traffic. And a great media buyer still adds a ton of value and holds a ton of responsibility, and that's also why they're usually paid very handsomely when you hire them. But in short, media buyers are an amplifier. They're not the business. They can't supplement things that are broken in the business. And when it comes to hiring a media buyer, a terrible way to hire a media buyer is when you have a product that the market doesn't want, and at that point, it doesn't matter if you hire the best media buyer. Again, you're giving them a broken car. And, there are nuances to this, right? You can still hire a media buyer, but just don't expect them to get any good results. So the right way to hire a media buyer is once you already have something working. That's when you can hire a media buyer to continue to scale it up and to improve performance. In other words, you can basically go to a media buyer or an agency and say, I know what we have here already works. It's already profitable. It's already performing well. I simply need you to take what's working and run with it. Scale it to the next level. Going back to that sales rep analogy, again, it's all about having a great product first. And ultimately, you hire a media buyer to get better performance from your ads, not to go from 0 to 1. That is the hardest part. I'm not going to say there aren't exceptions. Of course, it is possible. But 90-something% of the time, usually when you hire a media buyer in that position, it just results in losing a whole bunch of time and money. And last thing that I want for you is to hire like dozens of agencies or just go like just churn and burn through media buyer after media buyer, just thinking that the next one is going to be the one that's going to produce profitable results. Doesn't work like that, unfortunately. I wish it did, but it really, really doesn't. So again, media buyers just improve what's already working. Or put differently, they're there to do more of what's working and less of what's not working by doing a lot of testing. And they simply test a lot to find asymmetric returns, where they invest a certain amount and they get a disproportionate outcome from that input. In other words, profitable ROIs. And really, the more that I work with media buyers, and this is over at mediabuyer.com, where we literally work with the best of the best media buyers on the planet. I literally mean like Michael Jordan level media buyers. The more I realize how difficult of a skill this is to find, because most people don't know how to read data. In other words, they're not excruciatingly data driven, and they don't know how to solve complex scaling problems. Now, this is why a media buyer can be pivotal for a business and game changer in terms of helping them scale to that next level. But once they have all the fundamental pieces in place, right? If you don't have those pieces in place, then that's where you're just going to burn a lot of time and money, and you're probably going to get an aneurysm from all the headaches. And it's very, very hard to understand, like, why is the media buyer not actually performing? So next time that does happen, refer back to this video and see if there are any other bottlenecks or holes in the business that have to be fixed first.